Nearly a month of real time and over 20 practices highlighted New Orleans Saints training camp, the 2019 version, today being the final day. It is New Orleans Saints training camp show right here on CST. I'm Todd Graffagnini. This is John DeShazier. JD, training camp has officially come to a close, much to the relief of the players and everyone who's been coming out here every day and covering practices. But tell you what, it was a grind, it's done, and now the regular season is really in sight.
You know, I was about to say relief for the players, man. It's hot out here. But yeah, we're glad to have it over with. They got everything done that they wanted to get done. And that's the main thing for training camp. It's not as grueling as they used to be when they went to two-a-days and full pads and full contact, both practices and all those kinds of things. And both guys, you know, all the players walked to school uphill in the snow both ways. Those days are gone. These practices are different for every NFL team. And that's the beauty of it. But the Saints have the benefit of practicing out here in this heat, and I think it really calluses them up a little bit, makes them a little bit tougher. They said so themselves, but we're glad this phase of it is over, and now they move on to the next phase.
Yeah, and I guess the good news, JD, is there just wasn't a whole lot of drama. It was very businesslike the entire time. You know, the only suspense was when Michael Thomas was going to come to camp, and that didn't last very long. So very smooth sailing, so to speak.
Yeah, pretty businesslike. You get all the work done. You try to do it with the minimal distractions and injury here or there that's going to happen during training camp. But for the most part, I don't think anything catastrophic happened.
Let's go to the podium and hear the thoughts on the last day of camp.
Look, it's been competitive. A little warmer today than yesterday. I thought they handled it pretty well. And, you know, there's so much that you need work at. And there's so many different situations you have to cover, and you're trying to prepare for everything, and yet you're also trying to prepare them to think the way you think relative to timeouts, where you're at on the field, and how you have to play a game. When training camp breaks, it means two things to me. It means, number one, all the meetings are here instead of the meetings being at the hotel in the evening. And then the second thing it means is that the players with housing can stay in their homes. There'll be a number of players that still stay in the hotel. Those are the two things that, so the schedule can change a little bit, but back when you were on a two-a-day schedule, when training camp broke, it meant you were into a single practice day. Well, we're already, you know, into single practices. So the time shifts a little bit. But this week, basically, we're finishing, you know, that hotel meeting, and much like in prior years, we'll move to a different schedule now.
I mean, we still have to practice and everything, get better or whatever, but just knowing we out of camp, it's just a relief. You know, we've been here since, what is it, a month now, just practicing and just being in the hotel, man. You know, I just want to be at home in my own bed and just relaxing, you know. But it's just a relief, really.
I mean, right now we still in it. That's all I know. Camp is a grind, you know, and it's supposed to be a grind. You know, it's kind of like the ankle weights theory. You know, you want the camp to be hard so the season is easy. And, you know, it does feel better when you take the ankle weights off, but, you know, right now we're kind of still in the grind until he turns loose.
Well, JD, running back Alvin Kamara has been in here before. This is his third season now as the Saints tailback, and the mindset for him a little bit different when he came into camp a couple years ago as a rookie.
Yeah, he's looked the natural since he arrived. I mean, he fit in so smoothly, you wouldn't have known there were any difficulties for him, and yet he says there were. So, you know, really nice that he's improving, going along. You say improving, the guy's been an all-pro already, and he's also been to the Pro Bowl, but he's an improving player.
Let's hear from running back Alvin Kamara on finishing his third training camp.
It's cool, you know, we're the New Orleans Saints, so I mean, anytime we can be in New Orleans, I'm happy with it. I've never had training camp anywhere else, being in the NFL, so I'm pretty much like, yeah, that's it.
Alvin, having done this a few years now and knowing what to expect, has this gotten easier, the process?
As far as training camp?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say easier, but it's more, I think it's not as much pressure, I would say. I think it's always pressure to get better and, you know, to be back with the guys and want to progress fast, but I wouldn't say it's as nerve-wracking. Like, you know, as your rookie year, you come in camp, you don't know what to expect. It's more of a, I know what to expect now. It's just, now I can really focus on the things I need to do to get better.
Well, if you watch practice every day, it is interesting that Alvin Kamara does practice with the wide receivers as far as running routes. So he is in that wide receiver pool. Of course, he was the second leading reception getter for the Saints last year. Let's hear from Alvin Kamara and wide receiver Michael Thomas, their thoughts on each other as wideouts.
The sky's the limit for him. Every year he comes in, he's improved, he's made progress. He's always over there. He plays running back, but he's always talking to Coach CJ, RC, asking him questions about receivers. So he's always trying to, enhance his game. And having a young player like that is just automatic sky's the limit because he can get better year in and year out. So we know our responsibility for his team, and that's to move the chains and put points on the board. And we're in it together. So whatever we got to do to make each other, help each other out, we got each other's back.
Are there any particular elements of your receiving technique that you picked up from Mike?
Yeah, but I don't think I can do them all. He got. I mean, he can run any route on the route tree. He's running them hard, every one. Some of them breaks he be getting into, I don't know how to do that. I can't make my body do that, but I try. But I mean, just watching him, he's explosive. In every route. I mean, every one of his routes starts off, it looks the same. I mean, that's why I think these corners and these safeties have a tough time guarding them, is because you don't know what you're gonna get with them. And I mean, strong hands. One thing that I don't think he gets enough credit for is that he's smart. I mean, he knows coverages. He knows where his soft spots are. He knows. He knows how to. He studies his opponent. He knows what gets to him. He knows how to exploit their weaknesses. So.
When we return to the New Orleans Saints training camp show right here on CST, we will check out another quarterback challenge from training camp 2019.
Here we are, Saints training camp quarterback competition. And today's quarterback competition is brought to you by Plum Street Snoballs. Miss Donna and her team were nice enough to come out, get snowballs for all the guys after practice. Hot, humid day down here in South Louisiana. So, Miss Donna, thank you, first of all. And so, actually, we already had a spill over here. Let's come and check this out. Right here, we had a little spill. All right. So, if there's any kids watching, rule number 1: never eat the yellow snow. All right. All right. Here we go. So, quarterback competition is we got the snowballs set up on these tackling dummies. Basically, you just get 4 throws. All right, point values are 1 point, 2 points, 2 points, 1 point. All right, rapid fire, 4 throws, youngest, oldest. Here we go.
I got Drew making faces at me back there.
No! Close! Got it! Got it! Got it! Now?
It's about time I got the invite.
Here we go.
I thought we were doing 1 point at each shot.
What?
Yep. Came from the ground.
Here you go, Timo.
I got a whiff.
No. It looked good though. Ah! Oh boy.
Yes!
Ooh.
Come on now. We need 2 misses now.
Oh! The walk-off! The walk-off! God. Congratulations to Joe Lombardi for winning his first quarterback competition of the year. He's 1 in about 12 right now. And by the way, this lemon lime is tremendous. I highly recommend it. Plum Street Snoballs, Miss Don and the team, thank you.
Final segment New Orleans Saints training camp show right here on CST. This is John DeShazier. I'm Todd Graffagnini. JD quarterback Taysom Hill obviously played very well against the Los Angeles Chargers last Sunday. Should see some more time against the Jets in the Meadowlands. You know he's ready to go. 2 preseason games in about a week, and then it's the regular season. He should be ready.
I think we're seeing a lot of the things that the Saints coaching staff were envisioning of him when the Saints picked him up originally. They thought he'd be a dual threat, and that's exactly what he's been for the team.
Let's hear from quarterback Taysom Hill on his excitement level as the regular season arrives.
You know, for the last month or however long we've been in training camp, the mindset has been progressing as a quarterback, making sure that I can, you know, really trying to catch to where Drew is at and be able to function at a high level that way. And as we start to near the end of camp, you know, my mindset starts to shift to making sure that I can take care of all the responsibilities that I'll be asked to do this season. And, you know, as we get closer, I start to think about it. And it's certainly exciting. You know, I think a lot of the excitement just comes from knowing that we're getting ready to start another season, which is really exciting.
Well, that's going to wrap it up from the Ochsner Sports Performance Center here as training camp has officially come to a close. But we're not done on CST. We'll be back tomorrow to preview the New Orleans Saints at the New York Jets preseason game number 3. For John DeShazier, I'm Todd Graffagnini. We'll see you tomorrow right here on CST.